What's going on, guys? It's Mr. Crazy Crow. I'm back again with another video. First off, I would like to apologize for not making many videos. That's because my voice has been going out, as you can probably hear on this recording. But my voice has been going out, so I've been unable to really do any videos for the past few days. But I'll get back to it. But I just want to make this video, and I'm toughing through it because there's, it's E3. Me as a gaming channel, it's a busy time because I need to do breakdowns of every press conference, and we only have about 2-hour intervals or 3 or 4 hours in intervals between each press conference. So it's a busy day today and tomorrow with Microsoft's and PlayStation and all that good stuff. But now we're gonna focus on EA. I watched the EA Play, whatever the fuck they called it this year. Their press conference was, in my opinion, probably weak. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably the weakest one out of the bunch this week because they didn't have really anything that we didn't already know to show. Titanfall 2 was kind of a shocker, but we pretty much assumed that Titanfall was getting a sequel, judging by how well it did when the first one came out. But now they revealed that Titanfall 2 actually has a single-player campaign, which I'm highly doubting that it's going to be a single-player campaign in the traditional sense because it's we've had false promises before. Campaign now is a very loosely used term. It could mean pretty much anything. I mean, if you remember, Battleborn said they had a single-player campaign, and it wasn't even technically a campaign. There was no real story to it. But Titanfall 2, we're getting new Titans. We're getting melee weapon for Titans. They showed off a little bit of gameplay, which, you can't blame them. I'm thinking they're saving stuff for Gamescom in August. They're probably going to show a lot more in August, since the game does come out 2 months following that date. I think it's October 28th. Titanfall comes out. Is it? I can't remember. Getting off of Titanfall, because that was the only thing this press conference was probably worth a damn for besides Battlefield. They showed off FIFA. I'm American. I don't really give a shit about FIFA. I could fucking care less. It's the same shit every year. Madden, they showed off the next Madden, of course, because, we have to. But it was funny because they didn't really show anything new. With Madden, they touted innovation. They were going to reamp the franchise mode and everything. But they didn't show anything. EA, there's one thing to say something. There's another thing to actually show me what the fuck you're even talking about. To my knowledge, the franchise mode for Madden's going to be reamped to be more realistic, to, prevent cheaters, which was a big problem in the last Madden. And then the Ultimate Team's going to be refined also, and Draft Champions is making a comeback because you've got to make money off those cards somehow. But as far as Mass Effect goes, I was expecting a lot more, honestly, from Mass Effect, considering the game's been in development for about as long as a GTA game takes to make. If I recall, they started making this one when Mass Effect 3 came out, which was, and I think what was it? The winter of 2013, I think, or 2012 Mass Effect 3 came out. I can't remember offhand, but it's been in development for a while. My expectation going into the E3 event was that they were going to announce that it's done, and then they were going to say, hey, Mass Effect coming out this year. I was honestly expecting this year. But they didn't really show anything. They showed behind the scenes stuff of, how they're making it and little snippets of screenshots and shit. It just wasn't really anything worth a damn. And there was no release date. They just basically said, we're still making it. And to be fair, it does look like BioWare's in an actual dungeon. So they're not making no shit ending this time. Getting on to the next thing, we had the big thing, which was Battlefield 1, which looked as stunning as I could have possibly hoped it would be. You've got World War I, an alternate version. It does look cool. And we also got to see some multiplayer gameplay, like the bayonet charge, which is kind of the first time I saw it today, which was today. I kind of thought it reminisced. It took some kind of inspiration from from Gears of War 3's bayonet charge. If you haven't recalled, they had bayonets in Gears of War 3 on the Lancers, where the guy would like put it down and you would get in kind of this fury state where you would run extra fast, and if you ran into someone with enough velocity, you would pick them up and like stab them. That's kind of what they're going for in Battlefield, it looks like. With the bayonets, you kind of hold B and you kind of run at a extremely fast rate, and if you hit somebody with enough momentum, you can actually stab them with the bayonet and kill them, which I thought was fucking amazing. I thought this is actually cool. We actually, you know, with World War I being the setting, I would have hoped, I was kind of wondering before how were they going to do the whole hand-to-hand combat shit, but it does look like they're handling it nicely. I mean, but still, the beta still has to come out. I assume they're going to have a beta for it. I don't recall if they announced the beta, but they have to, I guess, really refine the gameplay so where hand-to-hand combat is actually an option rather than a last-ditch effort to kill somebody. I would really like to see a game mode actually just dedicated to hand-to-hand combat. That would be interesting because, again, you know, their improvised weapons during World War I were mostly hand-to-hand combat. That would be really interesting. But as far as the overall press conference, I mean, we were sure to see sports games. Mass Effect was a big letdown. I'm hoping that Gamescom in August reveals more on that. At least a release date would be good. And we got to see fucking Battlefield, which Battlefield's shaping up to be amazing. So next, and I'm actually looking at it right now, we're a couple hours away from Bethesda's E3, and I guess I'll go off on the video a little and make my prediction that we are going to see another Elder Scrolls. I think we're going to see a Fallout 4 DLC, most likely the Nuka-Cola World, or Nuka World, I think is what it's called, which was leaked. I think we're going to see a Skyrim remastering, because that looked pretty legit. If they do a Skyrim remaster, I hope they fucking do it right. It's Bethesda. There's not really much to fuck up here. But as far as Bethesda goes, I do think they are going to announce a new IP. I think it's only right to announce a new IP this year because they don't have much in development. And, you know, Fallout 4 was a huge gain for them, but I really like to see them do something different. You know, do something unique. Getting back, though, what I just remembered was that we also saw new Star Wars games, which were pretty much announced anyway. We didn't see anything from them. We just saw that they were there and that they're being made. That's really not a shocker. I was actually going to leave that out, but it just came in my mind. But thank you guys for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video, which will be Bethesda's E3 overview.